Hello, I am with Seed System Solution, and in this video, I will walk you through the process of creating a vendor prepay. If you do not see any of the options that I reference within this video, please contact your admin user within your organization for assistance first. Just like with most of your customers, they pay you prior to being invoiced. There are times of the year where you may need to pay a vendor before you're receiving an invoice from them. And below I will outline the recommended steps to complete this process. First, if you haven't already, you're going to need to set up an account in your chart of accounts for Vendor Prepay. To do that, go to Main Menu, System Settings, Chart of Accounts, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and click in the new blank line to create a new account. Just assign your account number, you name your account, set your type, and if you'd like to add a description. Next, we're going to either go to the Add option and select Check, or we're going to go into the Vendor Detail, go to the Transaction tab, and select Check from there. On the check, if a vendor hasn't already been assigned, you can click the Vendor button. You're going to see a list of your vendors. Select which one that you're going to prepay. You can assign your date. Your check number is going to be assigned at a later step. I will go through that. If you need to override your name, you can click in the name to override. And then you can add any memos that you would like to add to the check. From your expense tab, you're going to click the plus. You're going to search for your account of Vendor Prepay. You're going to enter the amount that you're paying. You can enter a department and a memo if you would like to. And then save or save and new. Repeat the steps for as many times that you need to for this Vendor Prepay check. From here, you can see that your check total is going to match your account amount. Next, you'll need to mark it as printed or actually printed. So you can select from your hamburger menu print to print the check. If so, follow through your steps. Otherwise, you can just assign a check number, ACH number, and this does mark it as printed. So when you select it, you're going to see a dialog box that says enter your check number. Again, if you don't have an actual check and it's an ACH deposit, you can type in ACH. I do recommend adding something after the ACH to split it up or give you a better designation for searching on reports later on. And then you can press OK. You'll now see that your check number has filled in. This can be overridden now that a check number has been assigned. So you can make changes to this after the fact by clicking in the check number field. Now you can leave the check by pressing the back logo. Now that has written a check to the customer, and that will now show on your general ledger under that vendor prepay account. However, the next step we recommend is to create a vendor credit memo under that vendor in order to give yourself something to apply later on when your bill is created. So either from your add menu, you can select vendor credit memo, or from the vendor detail, you can go to the transactions tab. You're going to press the plus button on the transaction tab, and you're going to select vendor credit. If you went from the add menu, your vendor will need to be assigned. So click your little magnifying glass and search for your vendor just as we did on that check. You can here now assign any departments, assign your date, but any notes, any information that you want to have for this vendor credit. The biggest thing that you're going to need to do right here is you're going to need to change your account. And you're going to need to assign this to your vendor prepay account over on this left-hand account. So under your date, the account should now say your vendor prepay account that you used on the check. Then you're going to go to the Accounts tab and press the plus button. And you're going to also look for your vendor prepay here. So both accounts on this vendor credit memo should be going to vendor prepay. You're going to enter that amount that you prepaid. You can add your department and notes, and again, repeat as necessary. Also, your date on this vendor credit memo should match the date that you wrote the check as of. So now you have a vendor credit that is going to sit on your account until you're ready to apply this against a bill at a later date. To apply it against a bill at a later time, you can find that vendor credit memo under your Transactions tab, or you can find it on your accounts payable reports, any detailed reports. So those are found under reports. They're either going to be found under purchases or vendors and payables reports, depending on how your menu setup is. And so if we went to that accounts payable report or an open payables report, it would also be on that one. And we searched for that vendor. We're going to see a list of their payables that we have. We can narrow that down to a specific date. And to click on that vendor credit memo, we would just click the number. It's going to open that memo. And then we would go to your hamburger menu, select Apply Credit. And under your bills, you're going to see any open bills that you have to apply this memo against. You would then leave your bill, or you would leave the vendor credit memo using your back logo. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions about Seed System Solution, please reference our other training videos. Email us at grow@seedsystem.com or register for one of our free monthly Seed System Support Zoom meetings.